and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Boxing Voice Radio, streaming to you live from the Wynn Casino right here out of the Blue Wire Studios. This is episode number 8 and number 2 live. Danny,
number
what's
7.
Up?
Number 7.
What? No, today's Wednesday, so that's the 3rd day.
Yeah,
we did 5 last week.
Yeah, but we weren't here on Monday.
I cheated.
You cheated.
Yeah, I was using the days to keep counting, not the episodes.
Yeah,
Sound like you more so miscount than cheated.
Thank
know
thank you, bro.
It's okay.
Nah, he was taking the easy route out, bro. I've been telling him since the beginning, let's number the episodes, but you know.
I don't know.
It is what it is.
I don't really like the whole numbering of the episodes. I'm serious, especially since I got more episodes than the average show, bro.
But not here.
But that's what I'm saying. Why would I want to separate it? Well, I'm like at 1,000. That's why that's there, bro. Like, people don't have that many episodes.
You gotta be
like,
at
they
way
do
more
that-
than 1,000.
I mean, I'm probably,
Bro,
but
because
people do one a day.
My catalog of interviews is at several hundred. So
Yeah, but you talking about interviews in the field. You know, I'm talking about podcasts, but I'm with you. I'm sure it's over 1,000 because I mean, if you just figure 1 episode a day, you know, I've been doing that for.
I don't know, man. I feel like this and everything you've had going on is not the same. So
I hear you, but you know, me and you see different on that. I don't want to have a difference. Like, I want to keep the Wynn Casino and Blue Wire Studios open to all, like we've always done. Big, little, small, interview them all.
yeah, but that don't stop us, from numbering our episodes. That's
Yeah, I mean, but that does have a separation. There is a separation there. We're going to be bickering all day because...
Yeah, what's the title, man?
I think
What's the
Danny
title?
stole my coffee. That should be the title. I put 2
That wasn't even the beginning, though. That wasn't the beginning. That was like part 2 of part 1. You know what I'm saying? Like the continuation of what already was started.
Today's
Bo and I
topic
showed up
is-
at an adequate time. He saw me make my coffee, so it's all good. But yeah, man.
Adequate when he knows I was in the parking lot. He literally came to my car. But
We were all here before 12, though. So for everybody in the chat thinking we just late like that,
nah.
everybody was here before the start time and set up with a coffee.
Yeah, no, listen, it's the growing pains, man.
Yo, so the title is very interesting. Let me tell you.
Why? Uh-oh. Danny's coming in hot today, guys. What did I do again, Bo?
Nah.
Oh, I didn't want his fucking charger crossing over my feet. And that is enough to ruffle this young man's
That's
feathers.
what you did after. It's what you did after.
I just
that.
wanted
It's
this
what you
is
did
just
after that.
information. No.
He about to dig.
Because
he about to dig. Here he goes.
no, it's
what
not.
are you gonna say?
Champ, I'm not digging. This is information I didn't know.
What?
The Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. The winner's the Tyson Fury mandatory.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, obviously Wilder has to beat Hellenius, but
Okay.
ain't nobody
So-
ain't nobody think about Hellenius. You picking Hellenius?
No,
you
no,
want to
no.
die on that sword?
Do I want to?
Do you wanna die?
On what sword?
On the Hellenius sword.
I ain't picking Hellenius.
All right then. So just like the rest of the world overlooking Hellenius, we are too.
I ain't overlooking him. I'm just picking Wilder.
We are too.
We are too.
Yeah.
And that's why we think about Ruiz already. You feel me? Hellenius gonna have to keep making his mark. I mean, we talked about it today with who was the guest today? Not Angel.
Frank
It
Stay.
was Frank.
That's right. You got a stink. And when you got that stink, you're going to have to shake that off of you. And Hellenius right now, it's not that he stinks, but he ain't Wilder. So just because you came off 2 good knockout wins, you're not Deontay Wilder. And let me tell you, this morning, Tyson Fury was on Talk Sports, and he's talking about how he's giving 60-40. Eddie has already confirmed that they cool with that. Everything is cool except the date. There's a little discrepancy on the date, but they got like 4 dates locked in. Long story short.
This fight not happening.
No. Long story short.
You think it's
the
happening?
interviewer. No, I'm not going there. The interviewer is trying to shit on Wilder. So Tyson stopped him right there. He said, "No, you kidding me? Wilder would knock out AJ in 2 rounds. Mind you, he's trying to make a deal with him. The whole point of the interview is, yo, is this fight happening? And, you know, you've been so generous to AJ because you offered him 40. They would have offered you 30. So, you know, right then and there, he stopped him like, no. No other heavyweight besides myself beats Deontay Wilder. So, again, I go back to the original subject and debate, which is overlooking Helenius. The world is overlooking Helenius, Gypsy King included. There will be no Helenius beating Wilder, and there will be no AJ beating Wilder. Unfortunately, maybe Fury's right. He's probably the only one that can beat Wilder. Ruiz ain't gonna do it either. Don't die on that sword.
I think the bigger issue ain't who gonna do it, is are the fights even gonna happen? Because any of them, Wilder Ruiz,
I think Wilder
Fury
Ruiz.
Joshua, Wilder Joshua, Usyk versus Fury. Like, are any of those fights gonna happen?
I think anything with AJ not being the A side is a little bit weird. Fury has shown us he's not afraid. He's going to Germany. Whatever people want to say in the chat right now, like, come on, Ness, you forgetting this. Cool, but Fury's still the only dude who's going to enemy territory. Like, Wilder had those fights in America. Fury went to Germany. Fury went to America. Like, Fury about to go to Saudi to beat up on Usyk if he would have wanted it. And he claims injury now. He needs time off. I don't think Fury is the guy to doubt. Neither is Ruiz. He took the AJ fight, right? Like,
I'm not doubting his capabilities, but I mean, you yourself sent like a fucking list that was longer than a Bible scripture of the shit Fury has done since April to show him to be capping.
I mean, no.
Since the beginning of his career.
No. The list he sent, I don't think are you in the pre-pro? He sent a list longer than a Bible scripture, bro, of lists he's done just since April. Just since April that kind of have showed him to be capping.
But see, I didn't show that to show that he was capping. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you can see there, let me pull it up. Sorry, I had got a text, right? So what you can see there, here we go. He knocked out Dillian White, Bo. See, it's all about interpretation. It's either you down the middle or you got a little bit of favoritism or you have a little bit of disdain. He knocked out Dillian White, calls out Ngannou. How is that cap? We seen Floyd fight a UFC fighter, okay? We know Ngannou wants to fight Tyson Fury. So if Fury comes off of a mandatory where now he's free in theory, and technically speaking, actually, he's free after completing his fight with Dillian White to do whatever the fuck he wants. And that could be a voluntary defense with Ngannou or a non-title defense with Ngannou because he's handled his mandatory. So now, where's the cap in that? It ain't his fault.
So the Ngannou fight not going to be an exhibition. It's going to be a professional.
That's what I'm saying.
We wouldn't know because it was just talk because the shit ain't getting nowhere.
But that's what
you know what I'm saying?
But why is he putting that on Fury? Fury's job is to handle his mandatory, be free of a fight, and let them know I want to fight. And he did that. But now he's calling him a capper. Cool, we're going to move on. He retired. Why? AJ was busy with his rematch. Usyk's a little guy. He beat Wilder, the dude everybody was afraid of. He beat Vlad. He retired. You know what I'm saying? Cool. So somebody here trolling says, oh, he kicked the taxi. Cool. So you beat Deontay Wilder in the greatest trilogy of heavyweight fucking history, right? And you're off in, what was it, Madrid or some shit? That he got a little tipsy? He's a fucking gypsy. He can't have a beer. Cab came too close and he fucking kicked it. So what? He's 6'9". Watch your motherfucking step, car or human being. What is he talking about? You know what I'm saying? He called out Thor. So everybody know Thor from the bodybuilding world.
Fury called out Thor?
The dude that fought.
The guy that was just in the exhibition a couple months ago.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because he understands crossover. You guys want to stay in a little ass boxing box.
No, because
he
you
knocked
said
out some
everybody.
wrestler last week too.
No, he said everybody. I didn't know who that
Exactly.
was until
I never seen or heard of that wrestler either, but he definitely, you know what I'm saying, hit him with a big two.
WWE ain't bring him to knock out a wrestler for free. Floyd ain't go to wrestling for nothing. They ain't got 90-something million subscribers on YouTube for nada.
Didn't
Fury
Floyd
went
whip
over
the
there to
Big
get that
Show?
publicity.
Floyd whipped the Big Show on wrestling.
Hell yeah. So, okay, he called out Thor. He tried to get a little exhibition, and nobody get mad at Floyd. I don't see him crying when Floyd. He was at the press conference. Floyd just announced another exhibition in a casino 10,000 miles off strip. He was there. So why you ain't mad at Floyd, but you mad at Tyson Fury for winning the exhibition with Thor?
Nah, I ain't
Double
mad
standard.
I ain't mad at it.
Double standard. You called him a capper. You labeled him a capper.
Had not
labeled him a
been
capper.
a champion in the sport of boxing in 7 years. So, a 45-year-old man doing exhibitions is I'm totally cool with it, especially in countries that other fight fans didn't get to see him fight during his professional career. I'm just saying he's talked about doing a lot. He talked about
I'm not done with the list.
A 4'8"
I can defend
man
everything.
and Isaac Lowe training him for
And
a
that's
trilogy that that warrants nothing.
Now, Bo,
How many more acts of cap are on this list?
Alleged acts of cap, right? So the next thing is after the
Alleged,
Thor,
yes,
after the
alleged.
Thor thing,
So Thor ain't getting offer, and neither did Ngannou. Okay.
after the Thor thing, he's like, cool, I'm going to unretire. I'm going to give Isaac Lowe, someone not too many people know, someone that I've always had on my undercards. This isn't someone that's coming out of nowhere the way this guy's making it seem. Now,
I ain't say he's coming out of nowhere. I said he's 4'8". He can't even hold pads for the Gypsy King. Like,
True.
I appointed him as my
Trainer.
to give him a little publicity, give him a little shine, okay? And this next thing on the list, called out Derek Chisora. What's wrong with that?
He did
Now,
do that
now
as
here's
well.
the thing. For those people that's going to say, who wants that fight? Right? Cool. Who wants that fight? But what did that great legendary fighter one time say? You going to remember the name once I say the phrase. He said, if you my friend, fight me. Help me make some motherfucking money. And that's what Tyson Fury doing. He giving his fellow Brit. He's extending the olive branch, man. Now look, you don't want it. He didn't want it. Obviously, the networks didn't want it. How is he a capper for trying to make that fight?
bro, he's talked about fighting everybody and their mother. Not one offer, mind you, not one offer. Like Isaac Lowe himself didn't even get the official trainer offer.
You don't know that.
He
You
didn't
don't
get
know
the
that.
official trainer offer.
Okay, so
Like not one offer has been sent out.
that act again followed
Except
by
apparently,
what's the next act?
apparently now,
I want to try to get
now,
through this list.
the
So look, I'm
AJ
trying to get through this list
Is the first signs of truth.
In the end, I'm gonna determine
Well,
if I think
listen,
the
this
list is all cap or
This is
whatever.
it. So remember, he said, only fight I'm going to do is Usyk or a trilogy with Chisora. He couldn't sell the trilogy. He retires again. Ain't no harm in that. He vacated the ring belt to make it look like, at that point, we almost believed him. But then
2 days later, he asked the WBC, matter of fact, let me get another week extension because I might actually
whoop the
not
motherfucking winner's
retire.
ass because I'm a Spartan. I want to fight. What doesn't he get?
I hope they zoomed in on you doing that.
I don't understand what he don't get. Like, yeah, I retired, but now there's another dude out here trying to claim my spot. That's my spot.
Was he not there before? Has Usyk not been there since September of the previous year?
No, Bo. Everybody knows that until Usyk won the rematch, he was just a fluke.
Okay,
he had to prove it wasn't a fluke.
But he ain't even fighting Usyk Super Bowl weekend no more. Who he fighting now? Who he fighting now?
Oh, and then, again, you see, he keeps calling Tyson the capper.
No. Because Usyk don't matter. He hurt. He hurt.
He don't want to
That's cool.
talk. No. You see how he's trying to gloss over it? Tyson unretires, calls out this faker, this fake champ because
the one with more belts.
You only there because I'm not here. Here I am. Hello. Here I am. And what does he do, Bo?
Was
I'm injured.
Which is understandable because he did have a tough fight with AJ.
It's not understandable. He used Tyson Fury's name in the post fight and said he wants only Fury or Wilder.
The post fight was before he got to the locker room. Though.
Yeah,
he hadn't got checked by the doctor yet.
I tell you when he got injured, his heart got injured when he seen Fury wanted all the smoke.
Yeah, he wasn't scared to defend his country in an actual war. But he's scared.
Yeah, you was there.
Of another man.
You was there. You had the camera on Usyk. You seen everything he shot down. Stop it. I'm not done. I'm not done.
If Usyk wasn't, I'm just going to say this. If Usyk wasn't injured, I feel like he would 100% take the fight. And I do believe he injured because Usyk ain't never dug no smoke from nobody. He did everything.
Usyk ain't never fought nobody on the level of Tyson Fury. Nobody in the cruiserweight
he got the
division.
Shot against, he has.
No one in the cruiserweight division can even be compared to Tyson Fury, and no one in the heavyweight division. No one.
I'm not saying he gonna win, and I'm not saying he gonna completely be overmatched. He's gonna be overmatched, and he's gonna lose, in my opinion. But
all I'm saying is, you line up a bunch of chocolatitos, and I ain't gonna run either. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Hold on, bro. Chocolatito a legend, bro. You tripping,
bruh?
And he just beat Julio Cesar Martinez.
He barely gets to my kneecap.
Yeah, but his opponents barely get to your kneecap as well.
But that's what I'm saying. So if I had to get in a tussle with 5 chocolatitos, why am I running? Why is Tyson Fury running from who? From what? From cruiserweight Usyk?
So you saying Usyk would run from Fury because Fury's a monster?
So absolutely, you getting it.
So out of all them guys you listed, right? How many of them received an offer from Tyson?
Joshua.
No, you didn't even get to Joshua.
Exactly.
Right. So out of all them guys you listed, not one of the motherfuckers got an offer.
No. See, what he's trying to do is be a wordsmith. Out of everyone I listed, we don't have a reported offer. But out of everyone I listed, you know what else we don't have? A report of no fucking offer. We don't have a disgruntled Chisora saying, "Oh, Tyson Fury never sent me an offer."
Bro,
we don't have Ngannou. You know what we do have, bro?
Nobody took him serious, yo. Let me tell you, bro.
Nobody took him serious except his trainer who comes to our studio saying that fight's going to happen in 2023.
Dewey Cooper.
Did he not say on our airwaves it's going to happen in 2023?
More than once he said.
Tyson Fury's trainer, was he not on his comments? Was he or was he not on his comments laughing, clowning? Was he or was he not, bro? His own trainer, the one that got him to beat Wilder.
Who?
Sugar Hill.
Bro, Sugar Hill got fired.
Sugar Hill, by the way.
Sugar Hill got fired. He's salty.
Whoa.
He's salty. He was in the comment section saying good luck with that when he announced Isaac Lowe. We reported that.
Because nobody even took it serious.
No, I bet you Sugar Hill did. That's why he was salty in the comments. You see that?
So besides you right now, what other report was of Sugar Hill being fired?
What you mean? Is he with him?
Bro, Is Tyson still fighting?
Announce Isaac Lowe?
Is Tyson still? Yeah, against Chisora.
All right.
So that was like 3 caps ago. Now we on. You feel me? Now we on the Joshua. This one you can't call a cap because Joshua received an offer.
Yo, stop being a hater.
This one Joshua received an offer, so you can't call it a lie.
Lies, man.
But yeah,
none of them were lies.
The 4'8" Isaac Lowe that's been knocked out back to back.
He's not 4'8", by the way.
Was supposed to train him for a Chisora trilogy.
Hey,
that was 2-3 fights ago. No,
this where I kill him. Deontay Wilder himself said that Tyson Fury was the easiest to negotiate with. But you want us to believe that Tyson isn't sending the offers. The man who's the best heavyweight in the world, he's not sending offers. He's the liar.
The right thing to do was to fight Usyk.
All these fights we was gonna get, we ain't getting not one of them. Not one exhibition.
Let me get in the middle and kind of get some clarification out there for everyone.
You know how much money
and the listeners as well.
You know how much money he could have made in Ngannou? That shit would have been too easy. Let me tell you. You know how much money he could have made just slapping him up real quick. Francis would have took that offer easily.
But that wasn't the right thing to do.
That
wouldn't have been the right thing to do.
Danny, you got to.
He retired.
The right thing to do was to fight Usyk, but Usyk just mentioned he's injured or whatever. So the next, he got a lot of options right now.
You guys are not thinking
Joshua,
logically.
which I don't want to see. Ngannou,
you know why it didn't happen?
Thor.
Don't believe him. He's
I feel like they all a
misleading.
possibility now that Usyk said he's injured.
Listen to me.
He was
Ngannou
going to do the right thing in fighting Usyk. That's my belief.
Ngannou didn't happen because he's still with the UFC. Like he's just you letting him talk and say whatever he want. When Dewey Cooper came on our show,
all right, that's cool. What about Chisora? Move on to the next one. All right, cool.
Because he's still under contract. He said it. I asked him.
All right, cool. So what about Chisora?
What about
I think I might have
Chisora?
missed
The
it.
networks don't fucking want it. Like, What? What about Tevin Farmer and Mickey Bay? Did that happen? No, because the networks ain't have it. They don't want it. But guess what? The fighters wanted it.
How is the heavyweight champion of the world not? You feel me?
Come on, bro.
Bro, his last
Even
fight,
Vladimir
his last fight was on U.S. pay-per-view. But you mean to tell me that
This guy makes it too easy, bro.
that one?
Vladimir Klitschko was the heavyweight champion most dominant in the last 20 years. He reigned for 12 and got kicked off HB fucking O. So don't tell me.
Because he was born. Because he was born.
But
Fury ain't born.
What I'm trying to show
Fury
you
a
is that
draw.
there is a control by executive producers to put on good television. And if Fury and Chisora don't make good television to them, it ain't gonna get no fucking sight
So
fee.
one
It
of
ain't
your
gonna get no broadcasting
so one of
fee.
your few, literally, there's not even a full handful of superstar boxers in this sport. One of them, you mean to tell me that ain't no network gonna pick it up? But they just charged us $75 for his last fight in America.
I want him to tell me now Floyd Mayweather's equivalent to this Chisora trilogy you're trying to sell the fucking U.S. public. No, show me Mayweather's equivalent on pay-per-view. You can't. Show me Pacquiao's equivalent on pay-per-view. You can't.
Even if
Fuck
you
is
don't
you
do it on
talking
Relax,
about?
you're going to pop a blood
No,
vessel,
because
bro.
he's just making shit up now.
And I
Just
don't
to
know what the
argue.
remedy
they don't
for
do
fixing
site
that
fees now?
is.
Bro, show me a pay-per-view, the quality of Chisora, Tyson Fury 3.
I
Show
think
me
that's
that.
a pretty quality matchup. A lot of people felt that Chisora might have drew with Usyk if not beat him. I think that's quality.
All right, bro. Now my man's a capper. You know, he turned into the capper. Guess what? Here's a fun fact. Chisora never won a world title.
He did not know.
Never.
Nah.
With all them do, you know what that is?
A gatekeeper?
You know what that is? To have a title shot after title shot after title shot after title shot?
A lucky man? What is it?
Boy.
How would you describe this?
Obviously, it's television worthy. On pay-per-view.
It's the antics.
Shout out to Gabe Rosado. He want Gabe to get a pay-per-view too. I hope Gabe get a Canelo pay-per-view.
Oh, God, no.
Puerto Rico versus Mexico.
If you
Nah,
fight in
that's a
Canelo,
murder.
you think it ain't gonna be on pay-per-view?
He should
I
not
don't
get the
know.
Canelo shot.
Canelo is
And I love
superstar.
you, Gabe
Hey,
Rosado,
Flo.
but don't fight Canelo, bro. Fight somebody else.
Let me get my guns out for this guy. Because he don't want to stay dead because someone tell him the Yeardom wasn't pay-per-view. You see that?
In
You see that?
Miami.
script?
They was in
You see-
Miami.
In a way, it is.
Yo,
you gotta pay
it was
for
on
it.
the zone.
You see
You
how
gotta
he
pay
tried to
for it.
slide that in there like, oh, if he fight Canelo, it'll be on pay. No, the fuck he won't.
I mean, Gabe Rosado
It
and
wasn't no-
Yildirim
it wasn't no Yildirim on pay-per-view.
is
I
night
ain't
and
see
day.
Yeardom on pay-per-view.
Yeah,
you
but
just lying
Rosado
today.
and Yildirim
You
night
just
and
lying
day.
today.
Canelo Triple G3
Bro, Yildirim
is
been in how-
pay-per-view, correct?
Yeah.
How many
And
how
what's the
many
price?
movies Yildirim been
No
in?
price yet?
How many movies Yildirim been in?
None.
How many movies fucking Gabe been in?
One.
The biggest boxing movie it is, bro. What you mean? Like, bro, so
That's the case he making for Gabe.
Bro, come
Yo,
on.
don't make me do that. I love
Yildirim
Gabe.
don't even
I'm
have
the only one still be
a
talking about
verified
Gabe.
account on Instagram, bro. You what are you talking about? How do you compare the
Oh
two?
man, this is hilarious.
How do you compare either the Gabe is comparable to Chisora, and if he were to fight Canelo, that would be pay-per-view, and you know it.
I hear you, bro. I'm done with him. I'm done with that, like fighting for Usyk. I mean, Tyson Fury versus Chisora to be on pay-per-view. Like, first of all, I was just proving he's not a kappa. Networks don't want it.
In the UK, we'll probably
Bo,
be
you got
pay-per-view.
the access, right? Make a poll. We don't even need that many votes. How many people still want Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora on pay-per-view? And keep in mind, pay-per-view in America now, because Dillian White was pay-per-view in America. That's how big of a star he is. So I don't know what Danny's trying to do to us. He got yes, Jazz 11. He must be trolling us. He must be trolling us, Danny is, without a doubt. But I do love Tyson Fury, and I don't want him to fight Derek Chisora. I prefer him to do what he's doing, offering Anthony Joshua 40%, which is a handsome offer coming off of two back-to-back losses.
When Fury fought Dillian White, was that on pay-per-view in America?
Yes.
And what was the price?
$75.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He's a star. That's what I'm trying to tell this man. He going to call him a liar.
I'm gonna make the poll.
Bro, you just said he wasn't a star because he can't get the site fees.
No, I never said site fee. I
Oh,
said
the network.
The
Yeah,
network
you can't get the network.
doesn't
and you compare
want the fight.
And you compared him to boring ass Klitschko. That was
I didn't never call Klitschko boring.
I did.
All right.
Klitschko was boring as fuck.
I compared him to another dominant heavyweight that couldn't get on television. Like I'm telling you, he's dominant,
Yeah,
but you're not getting on U.S.
one was
television.
entertaining, one
with
wasn't.
Chisora.
You feel me?
Yes, but Danny, you're trying to sell a pay-per-view. Okay, think about this again, because he's dying on this sword, ladies and gentlemen. But check this out, Bo. Check how I kill him, right? He wants ESPN to say, yes, Fury will
Nah, I
promote
want
your pay-per-view.
whatever British
Let me
network
finish.
he with.
Let me finish.
That's
Was
who's
it Sky?
responsible.
But don't forget.
That's who responsible.
Listen to me, my friend. Don't forget it's pay-per-view here to us.
It may be, yeah.
And there's more money here for him, so he cares about here. And guess what else? His deal is also in America.
Bro, he can't even get into this country. How is he gonna fight here?
Okay. Now, granted, they did stop him. We don't know what's going on with that, and we haven't heard anything else
we know
about
what's
that.
going on.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't. What? Tell
Somebody
us.
going to the feds.
Who?
The man,
Who?
Mr. Keenahan. man.
Okay, not Fury. So, none of that is relevant here. None of it. And the truth is, the point that I'm trying to make that he doesn't want to allow me to is Dillian White beat Derek Chisora twice. They put him on pay-per-view. Now this guy, that's why he'll never be a TV exec, because he wants to tell the TV execs, hey, guess what's a great idea? The dude that just lost to Fury by devastating knockout, he kind of beat a dude twice, that Fury beat twice. I think that guy should get a pay-per-view now, too.
Is that what you're saying, Danny?
What the
Bro.
fuck?
Are you
What I'm
asking for that to be on pay-per-view, like just for clarification? Because we
What
do know
else?
sometimes Nez might run off with something you kind of said.
No.
that-
Was Dillian White versus Tyson Fury not pay-per-view in America?
No, I'm asking is Danny specifically asking for that fight to be on pay-per-view?
Nah.
Like, do you want that next?
Does he, no?
Bro,
Why
I
don't you
would
ask
just-
him that?
I
Does
would-
he understand it will be on pay-per-view? Like that's what Fury's fights are. Like why are we lying?
Bro, that's what one has been. Like his last one in the UK. The other ones, hold on, because
Stop.
Let
You
it
keep
finish.
killing-
Let it
no,
finish.
let me-
Let
No,
it finish.
Bro,
you
the
heard
other
him
ones-
make the mistake.
No,
He
I
not
didn't
let
make
him-
but he
how
finna
can
clean it
I
up.
let
He
him
about to clean
He
it up.
made the mistake.
He about
I
to
didn't
clean
make
it
the
up.
Tyson
mistake.
Fury's last 3 fights have been on American pay-per-view. Stop it.
He about to clean it up.
The other ones were with Wilder.
The
though.
Clean it
last
up, Danny.
3.
Clean it
Yeah,
up,
one
Danny.
by
Stop.
himself though. One by
The
himself.
king of this shit.
One
bro.
by
You-
himself.
Listen. You
Clean it
One
up,
by
Danny.
yourself.
You good at interviewing.
One
I'm
by
good at
yourself.
debating, baby.
One by
Stop
yourself. No, you good at being the little guy and trying to yell over people because you think you intimidating when you not,
I'm
bro.
not even-
You
I'm
Look out
giving
the
you not
window.
always-
and-
giving you the floor.
Look out the window and
Bro.
enjoy the view while Danny finishes
Yo,
his
look,
point.
he said he giving
Enjoy
me
the
the
view.
floor when he just yelled about his last 3.
it. Because you made the mistake.
I
not
never
me.
made the mistake. You
You-
cut me
you
off. I was
literally
saying
said that.
his last one's the only one he's done by himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. The only one, and the only one outside of
What do you
America.
mean by himself? You can't have a fight by yourself. It's always a dance
Yeah,
partner.
okay.
I think he
and-
mean without
and
a significant
It was
B-side.
right. It was 50-50 with the Wild as far as the promotion on that, bro. Chisora ain't no. I mean, the other dude ain't. You feel me?
Someone tell this dude 50-50 was the first fight.
I'm not talking about. I'm not
The
talking
second
about
fight
money.
as well.
I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about money.
First-
I'm
The
talking
first
about.
fight was a draw, so that's like
No,
a
no,
true
bro.
50.
See,
No,
he
the
just
first
don't
fight-
listen,
the
bro. He
first
just don't
fight is
listen. I'm talking
60-40.
about the promotion.
The
That's
first fight
literally
is
what came
60-40.
came out
After
my
Wilder-
mouth.
Yes.
Okay.
After the draw, it was 50-50 because Wilder wanted him bad. So he got him back by giving him 50-50. After Wilder lost the first one, it went back
Bro.
to 60-40.
So
I say
Versus
the
Tyson.
third one
yo,
was 70-30.
hey, make
but
sure y'all clip
Nah,
it.
not no
Yeah, make sure y'all
70-30.
clip
It was
this
pretty
part.
wide.
Send it to Nuss, man. Send it
Not
to Nuss. I'm
70-30.
talking about promotion. He talking about finances.
when we get to
Was
Just-
was
bruh,
PBC
why
even
they
part
like
of the
this?
third one?
Of course.
Really?
Of course.
I thought it looked like Fury and them. I mean, Top Rank had lead on that.
you know what the problem is? The chat actually likes stuff like this. They talking about this is good. Danny smack him.
Because they're toxic.
Danny and Ness get in the ring. They love it.
No, I'm just
We got
teaching
the
them good
thumbs
old
up.
fashioned boxing.
The numbers all through the roof.
The truth
And it's
is,
just a
no
toxic
real
environment
boxing
right
fan.
now.
Look, 87% of the people are saying 88. Look, I can't.
When
Man,
they get to 100, I'm
I
ending
mean,
that
yeah,
poll.
you put up a question that had
Yeah.
nothing to do with what I was saying,
Once
you're
I-
lying,
bro.
That's what I was asking you to
You
finish your.
over
Bruh.
here talking about that Tyson Fury cannot get the money
Let him finish.
to fight.
I didn't say money. TV.
And do they not provide money?
But they give you a broadcasting fee, but you still get the television.
Okay, and you were
Maybe
saying
he could get Chisora approved in the UK, but not in America, my friend.
I just said you was the one talking about the whole France, UK feet. So we
And
was
that's
never talking about America. That was never a thing. The pay-per-view sales in America
Oh, how could it not be America? He's got, listen. the
because he
fight-
cannot enter this country.
My friend, the fight and the opponent has to be American television friendly.
I've already
He
said
doesn't
that. I've already said
belong
that. I've already
to
said
the
that.
United Kingdom
I've
until he's out of
already
contract.
said that. So
This man doesn't get
arguing
that.
nobody.
You
I
know what
already
I'm
said-
saying? He could want Fury, can want Chisora all he want. He could want Fabio Wardley. It gotta get approved. We all know even the Zone has ultimate say. They get to sit at the table when matchmaking because they have ultimate say. Ain't nobody just putting bullshit on the air. Why is this man still arguing about some shit? Ain't got
DAZN
nothing
is
to do with the major
putting
topic.
BS on there. They definitely put
This ain't got
KSI
nothing to do with
versus
the
two
major
bombs.
topic. He trying to die on Chisora trilogy. This ain't got nothing to do with the major topic. I was just going down a list of things he alleges Tyson is lying on when he's obviously not. He the one sent AJ an offer. a
It's slightly
fair
topic
offer.
related. It's slightly
Yeah,
topic related
that's the
because Fury's name
first
is in the
one.
topic, and we are talking about potential opponents for Tyson Fury. So it kind of is topic related.
Bruh, don't you
it's
understand-
not Andy and Deontay,
Don't
but
you
it
understand?
is.
This all stemmed from
topic-related.
him allegedly looking at the title and not agreeing with it because he says these fights may never happen.
No. It was actually when you asked me what was my thoughts on the fight,
You said these fights may never
and
happen.
I said, which is very true. How many times has he retired this year?
Okay.
4.
I'm just saying, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. You're trying to generalize the entire heavyweight division when we came into this talking about Wilder being the mandatory. Your first issue was overlooking Hellenius. We got past that by proving that Hellenius is not being overlooked. Just the world believes in Wilder, including Tyson
Nah,
Fury.
I just didn't want to
That's how
confuse any of our listeners.
That's how he got
all.
brought up, right?
He didn't want to confuse the listener, so it was no harmful intent in there.
No, I bet.
Let's continue
I
on.
bet.
Carry on.
I mean, listen, I believe Wilder and Ruiz is going to happen. I believe that he will beat Hellenius, and that's why
Here's the real
I'm
question.
discussing Wilder versus Ruiz being the mandatory for Tyson Fury.
Here's the real question. Regardless of
And
what,
that's what the WBC is saying.
regardless of what Tyson does, Wilder beats Hellenius, Andy Wilder happens.
Mm-hmm.
The real question is, do they get the shot at Fury or not?
Well, you know.
Or
that
does it
all
depend who
depends.
wins?
Yeah, I think it does because I think that why would Fury want a 4th fight with Wilder?
Okay, so you think Andy...
I don't know that he doesn't because he talks highly of
It
Wilder.
depends
Hold
on
on.
how Wilder look in these next 2
Hold on.
fights.
But let's say Andy beats Wilder.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
the-
I think he'll fight Andy. I mean, he's talked about Andy. I don't know if you've seen it. He's talked about Andy on his social media. He's called him a fat little pig. You know, and Andy's always, I would love to fight Tyson Fury. I mean, yeah. And if he beats Wilder and beat AJ, come on, man.
It's kind of
If he
unfortunate
beat-
because
if he
it's
beat
kind of
Andy,
unfortunate.
Usyk, and AJ on top of the Wilder and Klitschko, Tyson Fury the greatest
Is-
heavyweight
it-
to ever
But
blaze
not
the
only that,
Bro.
how
And
enticing.
it's actually possible that he could do it.
But
so
listen to me.
I think
So
Tyson
you
knows that
think the Andy fight realistic?
with
if
who?
fighting the winner,
I mean,
yes.
With Wilder?
No, with Fury.
If he beats Wilder? Why
Of
not?
course.
I just feel that fight is biggest in America, and it's like my man's can't get in.
He dying on that.
No, I'm not.
But
dying,
Andy
bro.
willing to travel.
like, we
Andy
don't
went to
even
Saudi
know.
Arabia, so
Andy
Andy
went
willing
to
to
Saudi,
travel.
but the thing is, bro, we saw that fight. Those fans was going bro, like the fans came out for him. You know how big that fight would be in America and here in Vegas.
Of course, it'd be
You know how
big
many
here,
Brits
but
would
if
come out?
Fury
Do
can't
it
get
matter?
in, we have to consider the other options, which
Only reason I think it
Andy
matters
already
is
been to Saudi, so we know it's possible.
But do it matter? Like AJ and Ruiz would have been big in America, the rematch, but they took it to Saudi. Like Ruiz literally beat AJ. So in LA, that fight would have sold the fuck out. Okay? But they took it to Saudi. So what is he talking about?
Yeah, but was that a good thing for the sport? Was that a good thing? Like I'm just saying,
We
now
can see
you
it on
adding
TV.
obstacles.
We can see it on TV, man. Floyd don't make it good for us. You know, Earl and Crawford ain't gonna put us in no stadium, and Canelo ain't giving us no. Well, he did the last time, but you know, we don't get stadium fights often, so we don't really get to go anyway. We watch it on TV. That's why who you fight matters, because they got to put it on American television. Or guess what? That shit gonna be free. We're gonna get it on one of our other premium subscribed networks like a Showtime or etc. I believe it happens, man. Mauricio loves Andy. He loves Andy.
I love Andy.
I mean,
Andy, keep doing your thing.
Didn't Andy get a belt? He didn't even win the WBC, and Mauricio gave him a belt in Mexico and shit when he won all the other belts. Just to like, oh, the first Mexican. Like, bro, they gave him like a medal, and you know, he said he's always wanted to fight for the WBC. So I think they're gonna make it happen. And they love Wilder. Wilder's #1 off 2 losses. When have you seen that? When have you seen that? We talk about all the time Sean Porter getting dropped from the IBF, almost 15 ratings. You know what I mean? Wilder's lost 2 times back to back. He's #1. So, yeah, I believe it's going to happen. Why? Because he brings in money anyway. He moves the needle. And Ruiz, we already talked about that demographic that he has.
Well,
but I'll tell you this, because there's a lot of haters in the chat. I could see that on
Could y'all
one
see
glance.
Fury going to Mexico?
no.
Why not? The hell? He's the Gypsy King. He's going to Germany. He came
Mexico
to America.
won't bring enough money
Why not?
because
It don't
who
gotta
would?
be Mexico. The money could be from somewhere else.
What big fight have we had in Mexico in the last 5 years? I
Jaime
don't know.
Munguia?
I said
Against
big
who?
fight.
I think it was Dennis Hogan.
He thinks.
No, I'm saying
It's
I
not a
said
big
big
fight.
fight. I don't think that's a big fight.
I mean, for Mexico, since that's not a big fight, right?
It's a big fight
no,
for
no, no,
Mexico,
you see,
but it's
no,
not a
those
big
who
fight
motherfucking
for
move the
boxing.
goalposts. Don't move the goalposts.
Jesus Christ.
Don't move
Folks
the
ain't
goalposts.
take his medicine this morning.
Don't
Yeah.
move the goalposts.
No, he love it. He love
Yo, you
easy prey.
cheating. Y'all cheating.
Nah, you be picking
You
like
see
some
how- hey, yo,
easy somebody
I
said.
hope all the
that you could
engineers
take
see
the
how I
wrong
got
way.
them.
No,
I
you
hope all
take.
the engineers see how I got 'em.
I
Y'all
don't even
literally
see. I think the
said
engineers
it ain't
left.
a
I don't
big
even see
fight.
them.
They literally said it ain't a big fight. So now when I challenge you to name a bigger fight in current day, you can't. You gonna tell me what?
A bigger fight than what?
The Jaime versus Dennis Hogan in Mexico in current day.
Of
Current
course,
day.
that's making Bo's point that it ain't been no bigger fight.
But so that's the biggest fight. And that's
But
two
that's
named
not
fighters.
a big fight though.
No, Bo, it is, because other than that, all you get is A side versus whatever fucking Mexican out there. Normally we call them cab drivers and bartenders.
All right, so here's the
Now
thing,
you
though.
finally get
Here's the
a
thing,
headline
though.
with 2 names you
Yeah,
do know.
yeah,
Plus,
but-
I do believe Big Meech was on undercard.
But here's the thing.
Demetrius
Here's the thing.
Ballard.
No, that was another time. That was another.
No. That's when Jaime fought him that you're thinking of. I'm talking about the prelude. I think they put him on the undercard.
All right,
of that.
regardless, right? Here's the thing. Just because, you know, it's kind of like a boxing match, right, Nuss? Sometimes you'll have a guy like winning one-sided, and then the guy that's been losing clearly the entire fight, he has a better round than he had previously. And then people give him a round. Like, nah, you still lost the round, but they'll give it to him. It's like, just because you give me a better than usual card in Mexico, a shit card is still a shit card.
But it's still the biggest they've had in recent days. So what I'm trying to
No,
prove is that they have brought a big name and a big fight to Mexico so they can bring bigger. They brought it.
Jaime Munguia is a mediocre name.
Come on, man.
Come on.
All right, I'm going to kill him too. So tell the world right now that Jaime Munguia versus Charlo is free TV and not on pay-per-view. Go ahead.
Which Charlo?
Jamel, whichever one you want. Now, when you're done with that question, tell them Benavidez versus Jaime or Canelo or Triple G. Anyone else you want to throw in there that you know is going to be pay-per-view?
But it's not because
lying.
it's not because of Jaime. It's
Of
because
course
of Charlo
it's
and
because-
Benavidez.
No. Wait a minute, because he killed himself again. If it's not because of Jaime, go ahead and name Charlo's pay-per-view. I'll wait.
Name Jaime's pay-per-view.
What you mean?
Hold on, no. I'll name you Charles pay-per-view.
What?
Banana, and then Dervyachenko.
Oh, the one that
Name
Their
Jaime's
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view.
No,
Jaime's
their
never had a
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view.
the one that
What's wrong with your arm?
Moment of silence.
it tanked. It fucking tanked, and I ain't talking about Javante. Let me tell you right now. You know, and it was two of them on the same card.
Hey, my boy said, "What's wrong with your arm?"
Hey, bro, imagine
Doing swim moves in here.
Imagine the two
This
of
the
us
boxing voice,
failed.
not the
No way,
offensive lineman,
Jose.
defensive
No
lineman voice.
way.
Imagine.
How you guys doing? Don't you forget to subscribe on YouTube. Catch us. We're live 7 days a week, twice a day.
Can we get the boxing voice logo again, please?
Bo, imagine you not big enough to even be put on pay-per-view. Imagine that.
Who's not big enough?
One time it been put. You talking about somebody failing?
Bo, refresh his memory that Jaime, when he was mentioned with Triple G, when he first stepped on the scene, was pay-per-view.
And they
Canelo,
said he was too young.
Pay-per-view.
Bro,
Charlo, pay-per-view.
My man's couldn't even get approved by the commission. Come on.
But-
of course, he was going to be on pay-per-view because of the opponent.
You see how he slid that in? Of course he was going to be on pay-per-view, which is still what Nestor said.
Because of the opponent. So, Bo, it's no different than
Because of the opponent.
Bo, it's
You
no
missed the key
different.
point,
It's no
Ness.
different
No,
than
dance
it's no
partner.
different than the fights Ness was just referring to in Mexico. You got the A side with the cab driver. The A side's the reason for pay-per-view, and Jaime is the guy, the Mexican in front
Now
of him.
he's calling Jaime a cab driver, which is a lie because if
Nah, he
Jaime
ain't no
was a
cab-
cab,
nah,
if
I mean,
Jaime,
he a former world
if
champ,
Jaime
you
was
know.
a cab driver,
That was actually when he became world champ. First event I ever covered.
if Jaime was a
against
cab
Liam
driver,
Smith, Bo, could you
his
believe
first
that?
fight
July
against Triple G.
21st, 2018.
if
Y'all
it's-
got to talk
At
one
the
at a
Hard
time
Rock.
because I can't even process.
thank you against the ropes. I'm not even gonna talk. The chat
You
already
pick one
knows.
dude, one comment out
Look.
of all the negative stuff that been in here. What did it say?
Yo,
Jesus Christ, they
I
saying a
did
lot.
reach out to Samson, Alex. Actually, I did reach out to Samson.
Where he at?
I don't think he's in the country. I don't think he's in the country. Okay, Jose Benavidez said he's gonna be in studio with us. So
Junior or senior?
senior, but I told him to bring David.
He coming tomorrow?
Jose, look, a little
for the
personal
Triple G?
message I'm making for you live. We actually live right now. Look at all
Right
these
now.
people. Look at all these people over there, Jose. So when you and David get to Vegas, I need you in this studio. All right, champ? All right.
All right.
There we go. Send that to Jose.
He'll be here. That's a good invite right there.
There's a lot of people gonna be in town next week, man.
It's going to be crazy.
Yo,
Yo, you gonna get your cousin in here or what?
Who your cut?
my
Canelo?
cousin.
Canelo.
He's so modest.
Ain't my kinfolk. Ain't never did nothing for me. Gave me an interview though. Shout out
It
to
might
the.
start.
So he did one thing for you.
It might
No, I
start.
mean he's giving me some time. Shout out.
You
to
might.
him.
I know Canelo, and that's just like a. That's just like a
It's really showed.
It's just
from
like
all
a
the
gene.
content.
It's just like a Latin
If you speak
gene.
more Spanish, I think he'll take more of a liking to
No, I
you,
think
Danny.
if Danny went up
Alvarez.
to him and was like, "Yo, compa, I'm an Alvarez too."
No, you gotta say it all Spanish. You cannot
Nah.
speak the English.
Not
It'd be
because
more personal.
Canelo's talking English now.
Yeah, but it'd be more personal. It's like a struggle for him to
I
still
think
speak
Danny
English.
has to play off the Alvarez, joke it off like, "Yo, soy tu primito," but now on the real, I am still the #1 boxer show in the motherfucking world.
Then throw the
Check
Spanish
out the
back in there
win.
again.
I'm there. This is me doing my thing. Look at this. Come through. He's like, "Oh, okay." And you Alvarez?
You gotta say come through in
And then
Spanish. You gotta mix it up, English
I'll
and
be in the
Spanish.
back. I'm gonna be in the back because I gotta stay in my age demo. So I'm gonna be talking to Eddie, softening it up. Because me and Eddie got a relationship. I soften it up with Eddie, but
I feel like Eddie's more useful than you.
he taking shots
Nah,
today.
that's pretty youthful.
He taking shots.
I call Ness a big 14-year-old. Know what I'm saying? Full of energy. Don't care about what nobody think he on top of the world. Is on top of the world.
I'm on top of the world.
But he's actually an old guy.
I ain't know.
You got gray
I
in your
know.
beard, bro.
I ain't know.
It was-
That's
I was
not,
in the room
that's
with
not
3 bald
old.
guys this
That's-
morning.
They say the gray in the beard is A, wisdom,
B,
genetics.
I think it's more genetics than anything for real, man.
Yeah.
I knew a girl had like her whole part was like gray.
I
In
knew a
high
dude
school.
who was a black dude who had full gray hair in college.
He dyed it.
Roman Harper, safety for Alabama, and he was also a safety for the Saints. Roman Harper.
He died. He was on some
Nah,
honey
bro.
badger, just on some Alabama's.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Nah.
Ness, I don't know if you saw that. Another heavyweight fight, since we are talking Wilder. Frank Sanchez versus Carlos Negron has been rescheduled for October 15th. Undercard.
They could have canceled. Right, I was about to say they could have just canceled it.
Damn.
Bro, why they giving that man free checks?
Who?
Frank.
Sanchez. You can't be fighting Negron after you already beat undefeated Ajagba.
Yeah, you got to
Like,
step it
Negron
up.
makes no sense.
Who he fight? No, he fought on that card January 1st. Who he
Bro,
fight
they
on that
giving him
card?
nobodies. They just they fake fluffing
That was
him up
FA.
like he's a super star.
Nah, FA was on
No,
the.
that was FA.
No, it wasn't.
That wasn't FA?
Nah, that was Wilder Fury 3 undercard.
I'm gonna pull it up, man.
Because I know we had Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin.
That's who we should be fighting, a Charles Martin or something like that, man. How you
Charles
still
Martin just
fighting
fought last
Negron
weekend.
though? But how you still fighting Negron at this stage of your career after beating Ajagba? That's crazy to me.
Yeah,
Look, he 20-0.
Who did he just fight? I do want to know that.
Check his.
Right, he just fought Christian Hammer. That's what I'm saying. How you
Yeah.
going backwards?
And he didn't even get the stoppage, did he? Or
No, hell no.
He
This
didn't.
dude, man, he's good on his feet. He ain't got no power. He ain't even
did he? He
stop
got
a
fast hands. He
Ajagba.
got fast hands, but no power.
Bruh, I ain't gonna front. Nagy Aguilera and Negron is the same thing. Now I get it. Negron is more declarated as an amateur.
And he a monster as well, as far as like size.
Who?
Carlos Negron.
As far as tall,
Yeah, he probably like
He thin.
250. Nah, bro, he at
he ain't
least
no
250.
250, man. He
I gotta check on
250.
my-
I've been in the gym. He ain't no 250. He just as lean as me.
Yo, I feel
We
like
finna see.
that's the one thing Vegas boxing lacks is heavyweights.
You know,
It's
we
like
lose all of them to football, man, and all them other weird
no.
ass sports.
I'm just saying, bro. Like you've been in the gym with so many heavyweights, and I'm like,
Carlos Negron,
Wish I could say the
6'6",
same.
254.
Yeah, but just think about it.
He's a
Look,
monster.
there's only 1,300 in the entire world, bro. Think about that. Like, if you go to middleweight, they're over 1,500. That's 100 and something more when allegedly the heavyweight division is the fucking glorious and glamorous division, the one that brings out the casuals, the one that pays you the most. Even you yourself said it. The commission has a mandatory minimum for a heavyweight title fight. Like, bro, and you're telling me there's only 13? We're losing them to other sports. You like, I bet you we go through the welterweights, there's way more because Floyd influenced them. Let's check.
And then
Just for
that's,
shits
the
and
welterweight
giggles.
division is more so
I mean,
the size of an
yeah,
average man.
I was gonna say, like, if you just get statistics, yeah, I'm sure you can find a smaller percentage of men 6'2", 220 plus. Like, it's gonna be smaller than a guy that's 5'8", 150 pounds.
Don't point at me when you do that because I'm taller than 5'8" and I weigh more than 150.
Damn.
I just
See
had
what
to
I'm saying?
put that out there.
But think about that. 2,071. That's a lot more fighters
Yeah,
than the most glorious and highest paying division.
Yeah, no,
Like-
but go to a clothing store, you're gonna find less mediums because they're being bought up more because that's the most common size. You get what I'm saying? So that's your you're gonna have more of what there is more availability of.
And I get it, but the welterweight division still doesn't get the popularity of the heavyweight division. It's still shocking to me that a division that historically pays more and gets the attention of the casual fan easier than any other division still.
It's
It's
also the hardest division to fight in.
No, it's not.
What you mean?
Like, it's actually the easy.
one punch
No.
could change
No,
everything
no,
for
no, no.
any of these
No,
fighters.
you're so you could have
Nah,
never been
bruh.
more wrong. Listen to me.
I mean, it's not because it's the highest level of competition, but every fight is a dangerous
Yeah, but-
fight in the heavyweight division.
But in the heavyweight division, it's like notorious for dudes that come from other sports. Like, that's why the prime in the heavyweight division is like 32. Because all heavy, we don't get a Joshua. We don't get Dominic Brazil. That's
but
not
think about this though.
normal.
Devin Haney is how old?
23.
All right, and Jared Anderson is 22, but they wouldn't dare stick him in with the top heavyweights due to the fact that he's too young.
But that you
It's
can't
'cause
say
it's
you
too
can't say
dangerous
you
right
can't
now.
say
for him.
you can't
Not
say
knocking Jared. I like Jared, and I think he could beat
Yeah,
some of
but
those
you
guys.
talking- you-
No,
but
I
right
hear
now
you.
it's
talking
too
about-
dangerous because of his age. Like,
Yeah, but
no,
you
but
talking
you're
about
wrong
a
because they
guy
did it with
that-
Mike Tyson.
Bro,
Mike Tyson was the youngest heavyweight in the world. What are we talking
And
about?
he is a heck of an anomaly.
You're talking about Devin, who's a world champion at 23, but turned professional at 17. He's been a professional for 6 years. You talking
And you
Jared
learn.
How old is Bam Rodriguez?
24, I believe.
And he's a champion as well, correct?
Yeah.
But is
But he
he
became
a
champ
unified
this year.
champion also?
No.
He became
Okay,
champ
just
this
one
year.
belt.
He became champ this year, so he still got 2 years on Jared.
And let's be clear.
2
Devin,
years is a lot.
Let's
I
be
see
let, and-
Jared doing
hold
a
on,
lot.
hold
He's
on, hold
very
on,
active.
hold on. Let's be clear of something. Devin, obviously worked his way up the rankings, put himself in position, did his thing.
So I think we got a poll. I think we got one.
Bam was a last minute replacement.
He got an
Moved
opportunity.
up in weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, and I honestly disagree. Like, I very well, like, yeah, it's going, my bias, whatever, but I very well could see Jared in there being thrown in with any of the top heavyweights. But I also
So can I make
saw
a poll?
sparring, so it was like when I seen him spar the baddest man in the planet in Tyson Fury. It's
I
like,
hate how you took that name from Wilder and gave it to Fury, but I get it.
I mean, he took the name from Wilder.
That's
He
what I
called
said. I get it.
himself the baddest man on the planet, and then he got beat. So there's a new bad man.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be honest with you. Like, it was for me the first and the third fight that really just convinced me. The second fight, obviously, he did what he did, but I'm gonna be honest with you. It was like I wasn't there, so it's like I saw what people saw on TV. I was there for the first and the third. I thought he killed Fury. Like, that's not nothing I joke with, nothing I play with. I pray that
He was flatline.
No, look, I was ringside too. That's the thing. Like, it's different. Like, I pray that I never have to experience that again as far as, like, what I have seen. But, bro, in that moment, I thought he ended him. I thought he ended him. He got back up, won the round in my humble opinion. And then in that third fight, I was fortunate to be there for. Yo, like, I don't think I've ever watched a fight in person where my heart rate was higher than that one. Yo, that was something else. That was something else. And Deontay Wilder was literally stretching everybody in sight. So for Tyson to do that and to do it that big, the way he did it, bad man. And honestly, he literally said what he was going to do before the second.
Yeah,
So
that
if
was the
Wilder,
best part.
No, hold on. So if Wilder knocked out Helenius in devastating fashion like he typically knocks people out, and he knocks out Andrew Ruiz in devastating fashion like he typically knocks people out, would you pay and like to see Fury Wilder 4?
I think that kind of depends on a number of things. What has
Yeah.
Fury done during that
And
time?
in that meantime,
Hold on,
all right, let me
yeah.
just build my scenario.
but
in that
even-
meantime, Fury only just defeats Usyk, which
Okay.
is
Woof, that's
reasonable
a
and
lot.
possible.
That's
That's a
huge.
lot.
That's huge.
That's one fight.
That's huge.
Yeah, but that's a lot.
That's huge.
He could retire. That
yeah.
happening could cause true retirement.
See, and I was gonna ask. I was gonna say too. It kind of matters. Like, what else? What else is happening in the heavyweight division too? How long before we see these fights? Okay, we know Helenius is October 15th. When is Andy gonna be? And then when would the Fury fight be? You know what I'm saying? It's just too many
I mean,
variables.
all that could be done by fall next year, pretty easily. Not even stretching it.
Yeah,
That's true.
No, that's very true. That's very true. But it's still like, not even to get back on that. You know what I'm saying? Ness, you win, but it's like Fury has said a lot.
Look at him.
In
He
the
looks
last
so
couple
comfortable.
months.
He up there like Obama right now. Just what is?
Do you?
So all right.
Yeah, but I think a lot can happen if Wilder were to get those 2 knockout wins in
I don't know
devastating
how I
fashion.
feel about that though, right? Like actually hearing you say it, knowing how Wilder fights, like if he knocks them out like Brazil, like do I really want to see him in there with Fury? I think I need him to be in 2 fights.
Oh, you want to see him in a tough fight?
No, but not like I just can't. I need like Stavern 2 fights maybe. Someone that like gets knocked down, gets up is a little bit tough. Like I can't just have you get Braziled 2 times. I don't know if I'm gonna feel like he's
So you want to
changed
fight like
enough.
Stavern won, where they went the distance and he was jabbing and had to actually
Maybe
box.
maybe the distance. I don't know that one makes sense because I know how the internet is. So if Wilder goes the distance after Fury, he's done in their eyes.
But the people gonna demand it, in my opinion, if he knocked these two dudes out in devastating fashion.
gonna demand what? The Fury fight?
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna be
I don't
honest.
know.
If he goes like, I'm gonna be truthful. If he goes like 5-6 rounds, so let's say he goes 12 rounds total in 2 fights, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he gets, 1 fight in 2. Okay. So if he's giving me 5-6 rounds in both fights, and he comes out the way he fought the first 2, like if he fights the way he fought the first 2 rounds of the Fury 3 fight, I'm cool.
Like if you see the Malik Scott influence.
Yeah, and if I see him continue to build on that, cool. I felt, what was it, round 3 where he got dropped Wilder in the last fight and everything turned around. If he can show me that for 5-6 rounds and then get the knockout and show me that not just has he built on it, but he's built on that endurance, on that stamina.
Yeah. Well, he's running now.
I think that's gonna make a big difference in his fight style.
Mm-hmm. Probably explosiveness as well, because you know if you're not running, you're probably mentally trying to pace yourself so that you don't get tired.
Not just the explosiveness, but people have always, certain people have chose to be funny on the internet and made fun of his legs. You running, that's gonna build that up.
I had to ask Malik about that. It was nothing else I could, think of to ask about other than Wilder's legs.
What'd you say? Have y'all been skipping leg day or?
Nah, I was saying he get a lot of criticism and flack about his legs being skinny. And Malik's response was pretty much, he knocked all the guys he fought out though, and they had bigger legs than him. That just summed up what Malik said pretty much.
Yeah, until he
Like
did it,
he pretty
though.
much said it didn't matter how big his legs or little his legs are.
Until it didn't. Champ, what you got?
Right.
I'm texting with Johnny Fisher's dad. I think he's in the building somewhere.
Mr. Fisher, come out and play.
And then I'm texting with Johnny Rice. He said he could come down at 20. 20 ain't gonna make it, champ.
What time we got? Oh, right on time.
But for everybody tuned in, we are live right now from Blue Wire Studios inside of the Wynn Hotel and Casino. So you actually could come watch the show right here, right outside the studio window.
Lawn chair, get you a lawn chair, know what I'm saying?
Imagine that.
A drink from the bar.
Someone tagged me. They took a picture while we were live, and I got to post it. They tagged me, and they were outside the window, like taking pictures while we were live one of these days.
Bro, I was
Pretty dope.
tripping. I seen 2 dudes smoking cigarette like right outside. I was like, what the
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
I forget
yeah,
it.
because it's a casino.
Right. But I was tripping at first. I hadn't, I guess, seen that because where I'm from, we ain't got casinos in Alabama. But yeah, I hadn't seen that since I was like a kid at a restaurant, and you got to pick the smoking or non-smoking section. Yeah.
You seen that?
No. What happened?
Look at the DMs. So John Fisher is coming.
John Fisher Sr.
Senior. We going. He's got a nice little following, man. He's such a good guy.
Oh, Danny, you did say you were a fan of Pops.
Yeah.
So I had never seen him. Is he as big as the Rumford Bull?
He bigger than, I feel like. I ain't never met him in person.
He ain't no small man.
Yeah.
He's more like a big John.
Yeah, I've never met him in person. I've only seen him on Instagram and whatnot. So
Big John. Yeah, man. So, yeah, and we can ask him some of these heavyweight questions, like does he think Tyson Fury would be here or not? You know what I mean? Further drive those nails into Danny's.
what do you mean?
I mean, you called him a Kappa. Let's see if this Brit thinks Tyson's a Kappa, huh, Bo?
Word.
I bet you he won't.
Word.
And especially when I think didn't Johnny say he sparred Tyson or worked alongside him and he didn't get to spar with him? So I highly doubt Mr. John is gonna feel anything but respect and admiration for the big fella.
So what is he in town for? Or is this
Well,
I
something-
think he just came to
came to
visit
surprise-
Johnny. Yeah,
Okay,
he just
okay,
came to
okay.
visit Johnny in camp.
Yeah, he definitely came to surprise his son, Johnny Fisher. He got to watch him spar Joe Joyce. Late night session at Solace's, man.
I would have loved to see that sparring. I want to see Joe Joyce spar. I want to see the Michael Hunter sparring.
Oh, you ain't see that one?
Nah, I
was
see
there.
it.
We was there for that one. I thought you was there.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I
We
miss
got to
all
see
the
the
good
Hunter
stuff,
work.
bro.
We got to see that Hunter work. That was okay.
I definitely want to see more of it though, because that was like the sparring you pay for.
Really? I've seen
Any blood?
no. I've seen better. For sure.
I felt like it was just two, high level guys, competitive. Definitely some trash talk. It was entertaining. Entertaining for sure.
So, obviously, where would this fight take place? You think they're gonna bring it back to L.A. since Wilder Fury 1 was in L.A.? Where do they do Ruiz Wilder or Wilder Ruiz? Is it Wilder Ruiz or is it Ruiz Wilder?
Wilder Ruiz. You said he number one.
He is number one,
I mean,
and he was the
like,
WBC champ.
I feel like you got to do a West Coast. The East Coast ain't really got too many Mexicans for
Is
real.
that a Vegas only fight though?
Nah, you could do that in California if they want to pay those taxes.
Vegas special is right in the middle. Well, not directly in the middle geographically, but it's like in the middle of L.A. and the Barclays. So it's like fairgrounds per se.
I get
Or
it. It's
neutral
definitely
grounds,
where
neutral
big
ground.
fights go, though. That makes it better for the fighter because at least if their fight is offered in Vegas, they
Nah,
feel like it's
good
a big
No,
fight.
it's good to do it in Vegas because
Nah,
we
let me tell
already.
y'all something.
Oh my gosh, the run for Bull and his pops are.
You got to let them in.
You gotta
Can
let
we
'em
get
in,
somebody
bro.
to let them in?
Or we got somebody to let them in.
There we go.
But yeah, the Mexican fans fight each other, so they're gonna be fighting Wilder fans. It'll be too much fighting if they do it in a stadium or something like that.
What you talking about?
They got to do it in Vegas where people got to pay a lot
Listen
and to
though,
keep the crowd
what
down.
you talking about? That happens in L.A. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think you'll get the same response here. I'm telling you.
That's what
Yo.
I'm saying. They need to put it here rather than L.A. for sure. And even New York, they're gonna be fighting in New York too.
No,
if they put it here,
let me tell
they'll
you
be
something.
fighting in the streets
Let me tell
rather
you
than
something.
in the
I've
arena.
seen Andy
arena.
and Wilder fight in L.A. And those atmospheres in L.A. is way crazy. It's way more. You feel it. You feel like you had a real fight. You get what I'm saying? Like you feel like you had a real fight.
They mad at you. $5 super chat. Danny, you wildin'. Usyk is injured. Ngannou is injured. Chisora got sent off. AJ got sent off.
Man, ain't nobody get
Bring
shit.
him on.
Ken Stone, when we look back, we'll call this Usyk era. I don't know about all that. Back
Yeah.
with another one.
Like what's
Usyk, the Ukrainian, Cassius Janey. No, he didn't say Cassius Janey. He actually said Cassius Clay. No,
Get Johnny in too. Nice to meet you, Mr.
didn't.
Fisher. Yeah.
Big John, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Don't worry, take your time, get situated. We'll keep the show going. We'll also bring in your son and have Johnny Fisher alongside as well. Oh, he's not? He said no?
I was told to stay.
Oh, he wants you to get your own shine, Pops. All right.
He's leaving me.
He's leaving you. I actually don't mind it this way. I think that the world needs to know exactly who you are and all that you do for Johnny. I think you've built yourself a big personality and social media
and
presence.
a following.
Yeah, and social media presence, and you're a vital part of your son's team. You allow him to have a clear head is the way that I look at it. And I'm all the way over here across the pond, but the way that I interpret everything that you do is that you don't want him to be distracted. You want him to focus on training and on camp, and you'll worry about sponsorships. You'll worry about running around selling handing tickets. So, I want to say, obviously, shout out to you for being a great father, and I wanted to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself to the world.
Yep, appreciate you having me on. A bit surreal for me because I'm just a normal man.
Not anymore. Shout out to Johnny Fisher.
No, it's just exactly what you said there. I see so many boxers having to worry about selling tickets, doing other things, and then they lose track of what the important thing is. So while I'm around, at least Johnny knows he hasn't got to worry about the ticket sales. sponsorships, I can do as much as I can for him because, as we all know, boxing's the hardest sport in the world. So you just got to concentrate 110% on that.
And because of that support, obviously Johnny has made a name that has made waves all the way here across the pond, all the way to Las Vegas. We've had him in our other studio. He's in Las Vegas to spar and train with Joe Joyce and has been in there with other top names in training. Just how, I guess, happy are you for your son?
Yeah, listen, any father, any self-respecting father wants to see their son or daughter do well in whatever they're doing. And for Johnny to be asked to come over here as a main sparring partner for Joe Joyce is just tremendous. And to get the chance to spar Carlos Takam as well, a true warrior of the sport. You know, I was lucky enough to go and watch the sparring the other night, and people would have paid good money to see what I saw. And it's just crazy. But credit to Johnny, he works hard, he dedicates his life. Things like that don't get given to you, you have to earn them. So, you know, long may it continue.
Big John, just want to say welcome to Vegas. I know you're heading out today, but how's the time been? Obviously, not just are you here for Johnny, but here just enjoying yourself a little bit. So how's that been?
Listen, I'm here for Johnny, but obviously I'm here for myself as well. If he was in some sort of not so good place, perhaps I wouldn't have come. But myself and my wife, we've had tremendous 3 nights. We've been to Las Vegas before when Johnny turned 21. He was out here training, and we came out to see him then. It's a tremendous place. Everyone's been great. The hotel here at the Wynn is unbelievable.
There's no food left in the buffet. It's all gone. He's eating it all.
Do you know
How
what? The
is the
buffet beat
buffet?
me. The buffet beat me. I'm a big man, as you can see. I like my food. That's my only vice in life is food. But that even beat me. So big up to the Wynn buffet.
I've been telling him that we need to stop because every time we come here and leave here, that thing has a line. I'm like, we got to at least read the reviews. It looks like it's amazing. Did it have a good spread? A lot of options?
It had every option. It catered for every palate. Totally.
Beautiful, beautiful. So obviously, Johnny doesn't have a traditional boxing upbringing. So how did you take to him going from rugby to boxing, and what was your first thoughts?
Well, this is like a little bit of a myth there because Johnny started boxing when he was 6. I used to box myself. My granddad was a professional boxer, so boxing's in his blood. And I've introduced every single one of my sons to boxing because I think it's great for discipline, self-respect, fitness. And Johnny was the only one that took to it. Listen, you can take the horse to water, but it might not drink. You know, you can't force anyone into a boxing ring. And Johnny loved it, but then he was good at rugby as well. So it was just a toss-up at one time between the two. But to be honest with you, boxing's a lot safer than rugby, so I think he's made the right choice.
Safer? Wow. Can you explain?
Well, in boxing, you know who's in front of you. You've got one opponent. With rugby, I mean, Johnny's quite small compared to a lot of rugby players, and they're coming from all angles. He's broke his shoulder, he's broke his hand, broke his hand trouble, cuts, bruises, ribs.
You don't know where it's coming from as well. You talk about a shot, not knowing where a punch is coming from, but imagine a 22, 23 stone man not knowing where he's coming from. So
I can't imagine you being small.
I am.
You're huge to me.
In rugby terms.
And I'm 6'5".
I'm not a medium-sized guy, and I was a second row. I was playing second row at Exeter Uni. I was a small second row. I was small.
I was just trying to explain to him. He's like, oh, the heavyweight division, and we're losing all these athletes to other sports. And I'm like,
No, to football specifically.
but I was telling him, I'm like, you got to realize what size are heavyweight men? You're just in the world, it's a small population of a man that's even that size. So for you, I'm sure, because I've seen some humongous rugby players. Like, I've watched rugby a bit, so I definitely seen some huge guys.
So physical, such a physical game. And like years ago, rugby players used to be a bit overweight, a bit unfit, but now they're supremely fit. They're
in every position. You used to think the prop used to be the big, heavy, fat guy who used to hold up the scrum, but now every rugby player's got to be able to do everything.
They've done me out of a job. That's where I used to play, but I'm not wanted anymore. They don't want the fat guy anymore.
So how long have you been planning to pop up and surprise Johnny? Because he didn't know you were going to come to Vegas.
We literally done it about 4 or 5 nights ago before we came. I was talking to my wife, talking to someone else, and they just said, look, Johnny sparring Joe Joyce, potentially world champion in Vegas. You've got to be there. And we made the decision to come out. Sometimes in life you have to push yourself a little bit to do things. And this memory will stay with us for the rest of our life. And just great to be with Johnny. Like, we are supportive parents. We are a supportive family. We are together. So it's just been nice to spend a little bit of time with him. Listen, I don't get involved in any of the professional side. He's got his trainers, he's got his managers, he's got his promoters. I leave that to the people that know what they're doing. But I just give him fatherly advice and worldly advice when I can. But I'd also like to say he's got a great bunch of sponsors and he's got a great support network at home, especially like people on the Country Roads Posse. It's a group chat. He's got a real big lot of people behind him that think the best of him. So he's a lucky man in that respect.
So did this support come, do you think, from your time in rugby, or did all this just happen once you told the world that you were going to be a boxer?
I think it's not really any. The boxing's obviously helped, but before the boxing, where I'm from, the people that I'm around, we've got a great friendship group and family group. We've got a big family, and people from where we are always get behind each other in Essex and in Romford, and it helps when I went to university as well, because I go to university and the friends that I made there, they go and spread the word to where they live in the country, and that helped it spread quite far and wide. But I'm just very lucky to have, as my dad said, to have the support that I've got from my family, from my sponsors. And when you're a sponsor as well, you're not just a sponsor, you become part of our friendship group, and we want you to be part of the journey. It's not as if, you get a little advertising spot on my shorts or my T-shirt and that's it. We want people to be on the journey with me, and I've had people from the very beginning when I was an amateur, and they're still here, and it's great that people want to still be a part of it.
Do you feel that you'd be as known and just as known as you are now if you were American?
Yeah, I've had this question a lot. Like,
Really?
In terms of what I would do if I was in the American market. Is it different? Because it is very different. Even the way you interview me is very different to how I get interviewed back in England. So it's an interesting question. I think the way I fight, my style, it's an aggressive, it's an exciting style. In America, they'd understand that I'm not I've got the amateur pedigree as well. It's a unique route in terms of the way I've come into boxing. I didn't win a Golden Gloves or an ABA Championships, as we call it in England. It's it's unconventional. So perhaps I would, because it's a unique and it's a different story into the world of boxing.
Only reason I ask is, I've never been fortunate to attend a boxing fight in the UK. Never been to the UK, but I just feel like, look, I'm Mexican, and I just feel like there's nothing like the British fans.
Yeah, you're right.
Like I
agree.
feel like even the Mexican fans will turn their back on. I feel like the British fans, there's like nothing like it, and I feel that it's almost a disgrace for a lot of American fighters who are extremely talented, but they just don't get that backing. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
You know, especially that hometown pride.
Yeah.
Like, you guys take that very seriously. Here it's like, it's non-existent.
I don't know. I think it's an American thing, man. People want to see you fail here. Like, Mayweather wasn't selling pay-per-views because they wanted to see him win. They were tired of seeing him win. They wanted to see him fail. They wanted to see who can beat him. And I think that's the difference in the UK is once it's a UK fighter, it's like they don't care. They're like, no, he's going to win. Which brings me to the topic that we're discussing here at the win. Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. If Wilder could get past Hellenius, Mauricio Suleiman, the president of the WBC, is saying that will be a final eliminator for the mandatory to Tyson Fury. My co-host feels like we're talking about a topic that is too far in the future because he's not 100% sure that can happen, whether it's Wilder Ruiz, Fury Usyk, Fury Joshua, which has just been breaking a lot of airwaves. So what are your guys' thoughts? Does Fury face Joshua? Will Wilder eventually fight Ruiz, or are these fights a little bit too difficult because of politics to kind of make?
Well, as you said, at the moment, the hot news is that the Fury-Joshua fight is very close to be being made. And I was saying to you earlier, when one of the top guys loses, it normally makes the fights a lot easier to make. So I think that fight is very close to being made. Hellenius is no walkover job. You see what he done to Kalnaki, so Wilder's got to still do a good job on him. So there's a lot of if, buts and maybes, and we're always in this constant cycle in heavyweight boxing. This fight's close to being made, this fight's close to being made, but we can't keep guessing. But at the minute, the fight that seems the closest to being made is Fury-Joshua, and that's a fight in the UK, in Great Britain, that's been hot on the appetite for a long, long time.
Did you believe that that Fury-Usyk was close? When they were talking about it, they had a weekend, a location.
Yeah, Tyson is the king of saying different things, getting people interested, and maybe saying something he doesn't really believe in. Who knows? That's the strength of Tyson Fury in terms of the psychological battles he has with people. You don't ever really know what's going on, so it's very difficult for people to deal with. So I couldn't tell you if that fight was being close to being made.
Would you call it lying or mind games, or none of the above?
mind games, but lying can be part of mind games, can't it? So who knows?
Big John, I gotta ask, just as a British boxing fan, what do you want to see out of the heavyweight division? Outside of your son, we're talking, the top guys, the champions in the division. As a British fan, who would you like to see?
Listen, I think as a British fan, Fury versus Joshua, people want to see it, regardless whether Joshua won or lost against Usyk. But then I would like to see Fury fight Usyk, because I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. We was talking about Mike Tyson in his prime against other people in his prime, and I said I'd just like to see the best ones of each era fight each other first as well, so we know who's the best. If Fury doesn't fight Usyk, if he doesn't fight AJ, you'll never truly know who's the best. So, in bygone eras, they did used to fight each other. So, first of all, I'd just like to see them all get in the ring and do their business. And it looks like it's going to happen that way. And as Johnny said, since AJ's lost, it might make it a little bit easier.
With Fury and AJ being such superstars, not just in the sport, but just in the world, do you think that fight, if it happens, would be in the UK, or do you think it happens in the Middle East?
Well, they said, I think they was talking about possibly Saudi Arabia, because if it happens in December in the UK, obviously it's winter time. The only place
Football World Cup is on as well.
Yeah, Football World Cup is on. The only place it could happen in the UK in the winter is probably in Wales. The
Fury gave a
Municipality
few
Stadium.
dates and venues. It's going to happen in the UK. Is the dates and venues that they have? I believe they said November 12th, December.
No, November.
4th,
No, November.
and Cardiff was one.
It was December 3rd and
Because of the roof.
November 27th were the
All
two
right,
dates.
December
that he did.
17th.
Yeah, I heard December 17th as well.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what AJ wanted.
Yeah,
The
AJ has
10th
requested for the fight to take place December 17th. Fury has replied November 26th at Wembley or December 3rd in Cardiff, and that's the dates, take it or leave it. So they're both in the UK.
I think Wembley will be touch and go, because obviously if it's raining, it's going to cause a bit of a downer on that.
So
but in Cardiff,
there's no stadium with the roof.
Cardiff.
In the Principality Stadium in Cardiff.
That's the only one. That's
think
so.
so.
Yeah.
That's
Of
crazy.
that
Of that capacity, yeah. That's the only one.
Easy. And honestly, the World Cup's gonna be going on no matter what date it falls on.
yeah.
So regardless of if it's AJ's dates or Fury's dates, they're gonna have the
Listen,
World
I
Cup.
don't think the World Cup matters. I think if AJ fights Fury, that sells out within minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna
In
be,
the UK, and that's
In the
what we're
UK.
talking about, man.
I'm gonna be honest.
Over here, so many other sports get in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the World Cup is definitely huge, but you guys don't even think that gets in the way.
That's
then.
what I'm
don't think
saying,
so,
because
yeah.
they're boxing fans. They're true boxing fans. But I
But
want to give you
that's
another
what I'm saying.
hypothetical.
This is like, as they call it, football is bigger than there's that's the biggest sport in the
Football
world.
in England is the biggest sport, without a shadow of a doubt. But if Fury's fighting AJ, that'll surpass. Listen, if England are in the World Cup final, which I very much doubt, that might be bigger. But, Fury v AJ, everyone wants to see
Well,
it.
look, if they happen to make the final, they should go with AJ's date, because it would be AJ Fury the Saturday, the finals the next day. So,
Perfect weekend.
Yeah.
you know,
That would be
So
a mad weekend.
another hypothetical on topic is obviously Wilder getting past Hellenius and Ruiz. How do you have to see him beat both of those men in order for him? Because now, if he does, he's the mandatory to Fury.
Again,
And that would be a fourth fight.
Yeah.
If Fury accepts, what would he have to do for you guys as fans for you to accept that fight?
Listen, I think if Wilder, it's only Fury that's beat him. And on the first fight, he nearly beat Fury. But Fury's just exceptional. He's just an exceptional talent. And I think Wilder against anyone else, in my opinion, possibly wins. Even against Usyk, I think he's got the power, the tools to do it. So whether people want to see a full fight, I don't know. But if he earns the right for that full fight, then it goes
But
there.
is that enough for you? Him doing what he normally does? Him doing a Dominic Brazil on both Hellenius and Ruiz? Is that enough, or do you need anything else?
I personally don't think, in my opinion, it should be enough now, because I think he's better than them two anyway, in my opinion. But I personally think Fury will fight AJ possibly twice and Usyk, and then he'll retire definitely.
But I've seen Wilder. He's been training at the UFC gym with Malik Scott as well. And I was speaking to Joe Joyce about this. He knows Malik quite well. He'll add different things to Wilder's game as well, skill-wise. But I don't even think he needs that against Helenius or Ruiz. If he takes 1 second for him to detonate that power on someone's chin, and you've seen, as you said, to Dominic Brazil, what it done to him, seen what it done to Luis Ortiz and people like that. So in that sort of level of people, I think Wilder's a step above them, and I do think, for me, I think he's still the second best, arguably, in the world after that last performance he had against Tyson Fury, because he did push Tyson Fury all the way in that third contest.
I would love, I agree with that. I was at that fight, and I think that if Deontay can come out, I was just telling him, if he comes out, and I see that they've been building on what he showed in that third fight, shooting the jab, going to the body, throwing in combinations. If I could see that 5-6 rounds and then he gets the knockout twice, I don't know that you can be mad at another Fury fight. I know what we've seen, but that's what I'm saying. I think Deontay needs to show it's not just the power.
Do you think he goes that route?
I've added more tools.
Now, that's us saying it, but do you guys think he actually goes that route? Like, does he fight Fury a fourth time, or does he win that Ruiz fight and maybe take a different fight?
I think everything is in Fury's hands. I think, like you said, Fury plays mind games. We've talked about it on the show today, and you never know with Fury. You don't know. No. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's a good chance that Fury fights somebody next that he hasn't even mentioned. You know, it could. Yeah. You know,
you've got so many guys queuing up. You've got Joe Joyce. You've got Frank Sanchez. They've got all different guys queuing up for these world title
Frank
shots.
Sanchez, you think he's queuing up?
Well, he's got a WBO in the WBO spot. He's quite highly ranked with the WBO, isn't he? Am I correct?
I had no clue. You know, he signed to fight Carlos Negron.
Really?
I'm not happy about that. After being a Jogba undefeated standout heavyweight, I thought
that's what I thought.
I thought he'd go up.
I thought he'd be
And can we not forget the main man who we're all here for, Joe Joyce, looking in tremendous shape.
Absolutely.
And people will underestimate Joe.
I've seen him spar with Hunter.
Yeah.
He is something special. We had him here in your chair actually, and I kind of pointed him. Was it the 9th round? Where
yes, the 9th round. Yes, it was.
I took him to the 9th round of the Usyk AJ fight 2, where AJ landed those vicious uppercut body shots, and I'm sure you see that is Joe Joyce's specialty. Yeah. You know, Salas will shout something out, and he'll just be digging to that body. So, you know, I'm excited to see Joyce get an opportunity at Usyk. They have the rivalry. They've been there. There's familiarity. I would love to see it.
That's crazy. Frank Sanchez is number 4 in the WBO.
I can't believe it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he beat a Jogba, so he obviously got the ranking off that. But now it's like you're going to fight.
Because Joyce and Parker are 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 ranked with the WBO. So I think
it's Joyce, Parker, then Joshua, and then Frank Sanchez.
So he's right in that mix. So a guy, there's these guys. You think of the Parkers, the Joshuas, the Furies, the Usyks, all these guys. But there's even guys on that fringe who are now knocking on that door as well. So there's so many options out there for heavyweight fights. Ruiz as well. So it's a very exciting time.
In our earlier broadcast this morning, we were talking about the return of Gerald Miller, and not the real Big Baby, but the Big Baby from Brooklyn. What's your thoughts on his return, and do you think he can make it back to, I guess, title contention?
Well,
because there seems to be heavy rumors of a possible fight in the UK with one of your countrymen.
He's a very big, strong unit. Obviously, we know that he's got that brute strength. Listen, everyone makes mistakes, and I know he made that mistake the first time. But is it a couple of times now that he's been?
It's definitely a couple of times, but since the suspension, he's been on VADA for 18 months, and he's got to pay for it out of his pocket. So he can't fight without it. So hopefully he stays clean. It's a difficult one
because I don't know Jarrell Miller. I don't know him personally, so I find it very difficult to comment on someone who's in that situation. I don't think it's really my place to comment. But
well, I mean more about, can he make a come back to title contention
of course
as a fighter? Do you see him getting back up there?
Well, he's obviously started back up now. Why not? Why can't he? He's in that position. He's got a team around him. He's obviously dedicated from what you've been saying in terms of paying for the VADA testing and everything. So he's got the will and the commitment there. We know he's a big, strong unit. We know what he possesses. So, of course, he can get into that top 10 mix again.
All right. Well, John, man, I want to thank you, obviously, for coming on.
One thing before he goes, you know what the people are asking for. Let us.
Bosh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. Been a pleasure.
Do you know what caused you to like go viral? Because you got quite a lot of followers for a regular dad out
I
there.
can blame Johnny's brothers, my two other sons. Every time I was eating, I've been filmed without knowing, put on TikTok, and it's my love for Chinese food that's got me noticed. Whenever we do a video with Chinese food, it just has millions of views. So, but as you can tell,
Everyone
I did
can
lose
relate
2.5
to it.
stone.
They can relate to it, can't they? In England,
Yeah.
Saturday night, everyone has a Chinese takeaway. And
Really?
Yeah.
Saturday
That's
night,
tradition?
you work hard all
It's
week.
not tradition, but
Saturday
millions
night
of
is
people over the
Chinese.
country know Saturday night you're at home watching a bit of telly, having a Chinese, and they can relate to him. And when they feel guilty about eating a Chinese, I say, "Oh, Big John's having a Chinese."
To
so
be
I've got to have
fair,
one.
I think that here pizza on the weekend, like for me, I think it'd be a pizza on the weekend,
Yeah.
Saturday night,
That sort of thing.
Yeah, so
So you've got to
I can see
remember,
that.
in London, in England, we've got a lot of people from Hong Kong, from our association with them. So there's Chinese takeaways on every corner.
So what does Bosh mean?
That's just a saying meaning everything's all right, and it's just took off. It's people like the way I say it.
Nice.
So just long may it continue.
Well, gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We'll take a quick intermission and take a picture with you guys. And if you want to give out your social media for anybody that may not be following, can do so.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. It's Big John 1.
And Johnny?
My Instagram is Johnny Fisher 1, and thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah, thank you for
Thank
having
you
us
both.
on.
All right. Actually, I'll just send some love here to Jordan Baker that sent a nice super chat, enjoying the show. And we can wrap it up. Yeah, we can wrap it up from there. That was the last super chat. So I want to thank everybody that's tuning in. Follow my co-host here at Ringwalk Danny on Instagram and Twitter. You can find me at NestGTO. Catch us on the next one.
Tomorrow
6
morning,
a.m.
6
Tomorrow
a.m.
morning.
Pacific. We are the Boxing Voice. Thank you.
Peace. Gentlemen. Lights on the desk.
What we do here is go back.